What is up, YouTube? Johnny B here again today, and we're gonna be bringing you another video on the FRS. It did really good at the track. I'm really happy, with the results that came out, even though we weren't racing for competition. The car did amazing. The only issues that I was having with it was the fuel pump was cutting off above 6,000 RPM. Every time I went above that, the car would sputter. So every time I went to the drag strip area, I would just shift at 6,000 RPM because I couldn't go any further than that and it would start sputtering. The car was still just as fast or even faster than some of the high horsepower cars. So it's pretty amazing that I was short shifting. Since I'm not redlining the full way, power was a little bit down. I actually got the fuel pump out and I went ahead and sent it back to Beachworks. They're gonna go ahead and warranty it for me. Hopefully, that's what the issue was, and then they'll just send me a new one and then put it in and we'll be good again. And then another issue that I had was the diff seal. I went to Toyota and I got the 2 diff seals, or they call them axle seals because that's what they're sealing, right? I'm only gonna be replacing one because only one of them busted. That way I can actually drive the car, because after that seal busted, I haven't driven it and taken it out. I had chances to take them out, but I'm not comfortable driving it anymore with the diff, oil low. This, and then I'm gonna go ahead and top it off again. Hopefully the diff is still good. If not, like I said, I have another one, so that's not an issue. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to swap these ones out. I actually never swapped the seals on this car because obviously it's still low mileage, but I've swapped seals very similar because they look exactly like your rear main seal and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get the axle out of the way, pop out the old one, and then pop the new one in, put it all back together and fill it up with some diff fluid. So let's go ahead and do that. All right guys, so this is the seal that's leaking. Luckily I have the DSS drive shaft shop axles, so this is what they are. The issue being that you guys probably won't have this setup. This is really easy because you can just unbolt this. It pops this section out and then you can go ahead and remove the part of the CV axle that goes into the diff, making it so much easier. But for educational purposes, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and take it out the normal way by removing the trailing arm and the lower control arm, and then just pulling this out enough to where I can go ahead and move this out of the way. Alright guys, we are done with the little diff situation that we had going on. The new axle seal is in and also filled it up. Looks like we lost about half a quart. So there was still some oil in there. So luckily I didn't run it completely dry. But now after looking at it how it is right now, it's pretty crazy to see how this is all open. And I forgot how it was because I'm so used to seeing it with the Velox diff and axle covers, because when I put this thing on, it just completely covers this whole area like that. So there's like no more like openings and stuff like that. So pretty cool to see, you know, the difference of how it used to be with this big old gap where you could just see everything. So if rocks fling up, they'll go up there in that area. Also, air traveling through here will get like jammed up on all these parts. All right, so now that we're done with the diff situation of, you know, the seal busting, it needing some diff fluid, you know, I was running low, probably for about two sessions. I was probably running low on it. But another thing that I needed to address was that the oil temperature was actually rising a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. I did have to do a cool down lap on session 3 just to get the temperatures back to normal. So I'm guessing, and one of the things is that this front cooler is a little bit small. That's just how it comes with the parent kit. So I decided to get another one, which is exactly the same, you know, cooler, which is the Cetrab. That's how you pronounce it. And it's the best things you can get out there, you know, for when in terms of cooler, oil coolers. That's probably the best brand out there. One reason being is that Ferrari actually uses their coolers on the Ferrari, so that's pretty cool. I remember seeing a Ferrari F40 that had a Cetrab cooler on it, so that's pretty amazing. So I want to be running the same thing, you know, running the best thing I can to keep, you know, temperatures down and stuff like that. So I'm going to be swapping it over to this one. It's literally the same type of cooler. The only difference is that this is a 19 row versus a 13 row. So it's going to give us 6 extra rows to just have, you know, more fluid in the system. So I'm already running, I think they already run like close to, what is it, like 7 quarts already, the FRS. And then with this, it adds a whole nother quart. So I'm running around 8 quarts. So with this, I should be running closer to 9 quarts of oil in the system. So making sure, you know, that the engine is gonna be properly lubricated. Luckily this is thermostatic, so this isn't gonna be running at all times. You know, obviously when the thermostat feels the temperature rise, opens up and starts flowing through here. So hopefully with the bigger oil cooler, we're gonna have, you know, lower temps down on the track, because after 20 minutes of abuse of just going at it, you know, boosting, the temperature did get a little high. Luckily the water temperature was perfect, so it looks like all the cooling mods we did with all that coil rad stuff worked out really well. So this little cooler, I'm probably still gonna keep it. I'm thinking about making it into a transmission cooler, because that's probably gonna help on the track also to have a little bit cooler temps. Not sure what to do with that yet, because there's a lot of debate out there on if you need the thermostatic for the transmission, also a bunch of little things. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna do that yet, but for now, we're just gonna swap these. They're literally direct bolt-on. They're gonna screw off of these, screw onto that. But we wanna go ahead and get the oil from this one, dump it in here, and then I have some little extra oil to top it off. So then we can go ahead and turn it on and, you know, make sure all the oil levels are good. All right guys, so we are now done installing. It was just literally a swap. It was the simplest thing to do. But here's the comparison of the old one with the new one, and they're actually both sitting on the splitter. So if I put them side by side like that, you can clearly tell the other one is much bigger. If you look down here, I actually made like little holes underneath the bumper. So that way when the splitter catches air, it gets like jammed underneath the bumper, and the bumper has like a little shape where it's gonna push air down. And hopefully that's channeling, you know, some pressure in through that piece of the bumper to keep it a little bit more cool. Obviously this worked really well after I started doing some cool down laps where I just calmed down a little bit and temperatures just dropped like instantly. But obviously from going and going and going, I figured that if I can keep going with a bigger oil cooler. That should kind of help a little bit more. And I want to be on the safer side of running, you know, a little bit cooler temps. So that's kind of like a little ducting that I decided to do. That way air is being force fed through at least the bottom section, and then also you have some of the regular air coming up from the top. This is actually sitting lower than my intercooler, so it's not heat soaking the intercooler as much, I guess you can say. I am debating whether I should make some custom ducts on each side and mount them with like an aluminum duct that's like sucking in air from the bottom part of the bumper, in between the bumper and the splitter. Hopefully I can come up with something where I can make like an aluminum shroud or something that just forces air in through there. But for now, this is how I'm gonna have it set up. Probably gonna try to test it on another track day, see if this, you know, fixed the issue, and see if I'm not leaking diff fluid anymore. Hopefully by next one with the new seal. The old seal did seem a little bit worn out. I do have about 20,000 miles on the car, so after driving it, you know, for so long, they could be a little bit worn. So with the new axles, I probably either just like nicked it a little bit or something, and it just started leaking out. So hopefully with the brand new seal, we won't have that issue anymore. This is gonna help us with the cooling, not issue, I guess you can say. It's just, I want to be a little bit on the safer side for oil temps. And then the windshield, I'm just gonna have to replace that whenever I have some extra money, because they're not cheap. So we're gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is just basically an after the track day of things that I needed to fix, which was relatively simple, nothing too crazy, but now I can drive the car again. So as always, you guys have a great day.